Greetings, fellow comic fans. This is Kamikaze Guy with his first, or what he hopes to be more than one, video about his modest comic collection. First, I need to start off with a shout out to MAW00001, otherwise known as Mark. I knew him way back when in a previous life, and I came across his YouTube channel last week while kind of researching these videos because I've been meaning to do one for a fair while now, and getting back in contact with him has given me the impetus to crack on with mine. So what I want to do is, same as everybody else really, talk about collecting comics, where I started from, and show a bit of what I've got. It's been a bit strange because I'm kind of researching where I started from. I had an idea that I started in about 93, 94. It wasn't until this morning I realised that completely wrong. I even started maybe 7 years ago, or previous to then. I'm a geek, throughout and out, always have been, always will be. Like the two books here, always been a comic character fan, always watched the cartoons. But collecting comics specifically never really occurred to me until both times actually at a particular event. I've always, like I say, I've really been a Star Trek fan, and it wasn't until they showed the Wrath of Khan in 1986 the first time on telly that it fired all the buttons and I was out to buy anything that had Star Trek on it. And I think must have been the next year. I just been to see The Voyage Home with my friend in The Empire Left the Square, and for some reason he decided, now you can have this. So this was my first Star Trek comic. Until that point I'd never really thought about collecting comics. He also gave me the movie adaptation of The Voyage Home, which has mysteriously disappeared. But I always get that again. But this was the first one, and this was what started it all the first time in 1987. So I suppose some of you remember the Virgin Megastore in Oxford Street. They had a nice cosy little back issue room downstairs, and I managed to get quite a fair few of the old Star Trekkies. So here's the first one. Pretty cheap prices too, especially for a number one. All damn good condition. I quite enjoyed this story. I think I got this around about the same time that I bought the Titan books, book of the same title. I think it's around about 87, 88 Titan books, which is I think a UK offshoot of some other American publisher, started doing Trek stories. And there was this one, Stranger in the Sky, which is like a Vulcan tale, which is really good, and Star Trek: The First Mission about George Kirk. But this story doesn't tie into the other the novel at all, but that was a good story. They also had a couple of mirror universe storylines in this all volume 1 of the DC Star Trek, and I thought it was quite clever. Not a cop out at the end either. It's quite well played by Kirk in this. It would have made a pretty good two-parter, a live action series. I do have all 56 of these. I think it's 56. This is no, it's not an annual, it's a special. The obligatory, the 60s version. Enterprise crew meeting the modern, Star Trek's like they're big on their time travel stories, aren't they? So that was, say, the late 80s. That was my first run at collecting comics. I didn't have any of the Marvel ones at the time, but I've since gone back and got the 18 issues of those, starting with obviously the motion picture adaptation. I don't know why I stopped. Maybe because I did start collecting Volume 2 for a while, and then also the DS9s and a few others. Maybe I kind of overdid it a bit and decided to take a break. But it wasn't until 94, again prompted by another friend who was buying Image stuff left, right and centre from our local shop, that I decided, oh, I'll give it another go. So what should I buy? You know, a couple of favourites I've known from years back. All well-known ones. So I decided to go with these two titles. Very easy to collect. Short runs. With the idea, well, I didn't think at the time I'd ever be able to get any of the back issues. And they were both coming up to their respective issue 400s. So I can get a decent one of these and finish around about then. So I jumped right in with No One Gets Out Alive. Not knowing where Reed had gone. I think that's the old cut-out cover, full cover. Very nice. The culmination, the conclusion of the story is a bit confusing. Because it involves time travel, and you kind of think, well, certain story elements get left behind towards the end of this, and I kind of found that's a running thing with the bigger the storyline, the less satisfying the conclusion in a kind of convincing, plausible kind of way. Yes, I know we were talking about comic book plots, but that's kind of how I find these big stories to be going. The difference I had with these, with Fantastic Four, it was easy to follow because there was one title, whereas with Spider-Man you had Amazing, Spectacular, Web, and the Tom Holland Spider-Man, as well as the two reprint series, Marvel Tales and Spider-Man Classics. So you go from buying no titles at all to at least 6 titles a month. And I started with these ones, not necessarily because they came with the free booklet and 4-colour cell from the upcoming cartoon series. I mean, it was just coincidence really, but it was just nice to start on these because there was something extra special about them. I don't think this must be the original one because it's got the bag, but I remember with the Spectacular one, slightly kind of a foil cover. I don't mean I better see it on here because of the bag and the. But it was nice to have something extra. Although I do remember the designs they had in here, because there's one of Peter Parker and another of Aunt May, weren't the same designs they actually used finally in the cartoon series itself. But I think nice issues to start with, something that linked them all four of them. What's next? Spectacular. Yeah, I think I wasn't too keen on with these was the chopping and changing with where stories continued in terms of what issue and what title. Because you had this was one, there was Web of Life, and so Web of Death. What's that? That's 2 or 4. So I think they would pair off the 4 titles, and they had a recurring story in 2 titles, and then another one and the other pair. And another story would start, and they'd swap round. So you could, what order do I read them in? Which I will have that problem, a problem again, once I get around to rereading all of these. At the time I got this, that's a very nice cover. Not realising, obviously, it's the opposite way around to the classic Amazing 50. It's very simple and striking, and I think the colours are the same, they just swap the images around. Peter Parker no more. I can't remember why that was, because the clone hadn't been introduced yet, I don't think. I'm not got an expert on plot yet, because at the moment I'm going through Fantastic Four, so I've yet to catch up on Spidey, and I've not read those for a fair few years. This was another one which is a bit nice flip book, foil cover. Judas Traveller, what a duff character. There's a great review of the story by Linkara, Top of the Fourth Wall, where he totally trashes this, and totally agree with what he said about Judas Traveller being a totally pointless, powerless character. But they kept bringing him back around that time. It was really annoying. What's this? Yes, Web of Death 3 or 4. So yeah, I mean, you would have Amazing and Spectacular would have one story, and Web and Spider-Man would have another. And then when they finished, Smoke and Mirrors was another one. Let's swap over. The old Clone Saga. I liked it, but it did go on far too long. I think they weren't sure where they were going with it, whether they were actually going to have Ben Wright actually be the right, the real Peter Parker as they did. It became a very frustrating storyline because they actually seemingly sometimes destroy the Jackal, but they come back and find out that last one was a clone, and Peter would be demanding answers, and you'll give him an answer, and at the very end of the issue, you go, oh, you'll say like, oh, or was it? And then run away. It's like, oh, do you know what you're doing with this story or what? There's another story that wasn't satisfactorily concluded. And again, they clear more funny to bring it back so many issues later. Then you have the lovely, another Death in Spider-Man one. Spider-Man 400 with its, what is it? It's a gravestone, that's the thing. Folded cover thingy. I don't know what the actual sort of gatefolded thing like that. So there's a proper kind of word for it. Embossed cover. That's quite nice. But you knew they actually weren't going to kill him off. I know there was a death. What does it say? Can't see it. Oh, a death in the family. Turns to be Aunt May again. How many times she's died in this? I did think, right, 400. I can stop now. But once you start, once you start collecting comics and reading about characters you've known for years and really enjoyed, you can't stop. Which brings me on to, this is why I'm on Spider-Man for the moment, Maximum Clonage. I quite like this story actually, although I still find Carnage a bit of a one-trick pony. I suppose with psychopathic characters, that's all there is to it, really. But they carry on some of the conflict between Peter and Ben, and that's a pretty darn good cover. Right, just move these out of the way. Get back onto Fantastic Four. It was around this time. I quite like the artwork in this. I'm not very big on who drew what. Watching some of the other people's videos, your videos, you talk about old issues and you know exactly who drew it and who wrote it, and I'm totally not up on any of that at all. I know obviously the big ones like Ditko and Kirby. I do like my comics to look comic-y in their artwork and everything. And it's around this time, doesn't know who drew it. It was around this time where it was very, sort of cartoony, I suppose, artwork, and I really like that. This one at the time, I thought, that looks familiar, even though obviously when the original came out I wasn't born. But when I found out this was obviously an homage or a pastiche of the previous issue, I was like, oh. But that was a good storyline as well. But again, this was another one where the ending was a bit, doesn't Galactus destroy a world? So, but they've gone into the future where the world's going to be destroyed, but it's still there. And if it's, why have they created the statue of the Fantastic Four when the world's been destroyed? It's a bit, oh, hey, what? So slightly confusing, but it's a good read. It's a very good cover. And then they did the similar kind of thing with the Spider-Man sales. We had a free booklet advertising the Marvel Action Hour, which is quite good. But I think the theme tunes to both Fantastic Four and Iron Man leave quite a bit to be desired. I can't remember this is some kind of totem thing, isn't it? I've read these for a good few years. But as I say, these were kind of where I started reading Fantastic Four. This is a classic. I missed this when it came out the first time. I had to get this off of eBay or Comic Mart. This is the one where Wolverine slashes the Thing's face in a fit of pique. Goes a bit ballistic, lashes out and slices it. The panel on there, you just feel the pain. His rock skin gets sliced off. I like the build up to issue 400 with the foil covers and the watchers, so you know it's going to be a big storyline. You didn't actually notice, well I didn't to begin with, what's coming in the fall areas. So obviously there's something behind there, and each time it gets slightly tighter with the same picture. And you know, you can see Human Torch, a thing, and Doctor Doom. What's that about? Because Reed's there apparently, but you've got Doom here, and that itself is like another cover. So you find out with issue 400 and Hypno cover. It's it's Christoph, isn't it? It's not actually Doctor Doom. And you think no, but he's got the 4 on his whatever you'd call them. Ben's not wearing his helmet anymore, but he's still got the scarred face. But I enjoyed that. It was good. That was, well, I can't remember actually how it ended. But that's, I don't know. Would you want anybody but the original Fantastic Four on issue 400? But that's all sort of personal opinion. But I like the whole foil effect it's given there. Right. I'll just show you. Those are 2 of the 3 series that I kind of collect in a full run. The other one being Captain America up to the end of volume 2. Because I'm mostly a Silver Age, Marvel Silver Age fan. So, let's show you some of those. Number 6. I think this is the first supervillain team up of Submariner and Doctor Doom. These are the ones that remind me of the old, well, they would do the old 60s cartoon series, which I suppose is where most of us would have, in the UK at least, have been introduced to these characters. I just love the sound effect they had for Reed stretching. Nice. To show a comparison in quality, the quality of my comics and my collection, they sort of vary greatly. I'm not really sure what kind of grade you'd give that one, but if you compare the spines, there's a lot of difference. But my philosophy is for collecting the first copy of an issue that I have. Quality goes off hand in hand with the price that I pay for it. I would rather have, you know, even a fair quality copy of something just to have it and be able to tick it off my list than to, you know, wait until a better one comes along. I mean, eventually one will come along, but it's, you know, I'd pay a decent price, i.e. cheap, for a duff one and have it, then not have it at all because I couldn't afford the prices of, you know, the higher grade copies. And again, these are like very early ones, and it was affordable, so I'll have it. I've not seen any, at least what, pre-issue 25, down at the price. I mean, the final price. A lot of them, I've seen quite a few start at 99p, but they shoot up so very quickly. So I don't mind having duff copies, even incomplete stories or incomplete issues that have like the ads cut out and things. Like this one, it took me ages to get issue 10 of, you know, a price I could afford, but it said for some reason he sliced the edge of the page off, so it doesn't actually say this is issue 1 in Ja. So if and when I ever upgrade this copy, I have to save up quite a bit first. But having said that, it's complete, it's totally readable, so you know, it does what it's meant to do. It fills an all-important gap. This one, oh, this was a find. I was down to maybe my last half dozen to complete volume 1. It's still not complete, I'm still missing 2. But this is one I just bought an issue, I can't remember, on eBay. And after the checkout page, you have down the bottom, you know, some others you can look at, and I just sort of scrolled down and this was there. It's a very nice £55, which was the cheapest I'd probably ever seen it. And it may have been to do with the way he'd titled it, that it was at that price. There weren't that many bids on it. So I think I got it from it. I think I actually got it for 55, which I think is a bargain as far as issue 12 is concerned. I don't know, I think it's perhaps a very good. It's got the 2 stamps on it, which I'm not bothered about at all. What I think of it. Does anybody know why? Or right, it's actually got one here. There's the 6. Is that like a distributor's mark or something? If you've got a bunch of comics that need to go back, the top one gets that on it. Because I've got quite a few of a 6. Well, I assume it's a 6 on it, but I don't know what it means. So if anybody knows what it means, you can please let me know in the comments. But I was very, very chuffed to get this. That's one of my prize ones. And he throws it over there. Oh, very nice. This is one of the early ones, I think, of Silver Age ones. Number 15. I think it's the first Mad Thinker and the android. Yes, because it looks just like an android, doesn't it? I mean, it's not even living clay. It's just, I don't know how that works, but there's your silly science from the 60s comics. Quite a nice one, isn't it, actually? I think there's a tear in the spine, but it's still got that nice, soft, smooth, but solid feel to it, which I like. Anyway, I don't mind having, like I said, I don't mind having bad copies, but everybody likes these, you know. It's not at least a fine or fine minus. This was a bit of a bargain as well. You know, this is quite an expensive one, any decent copy. But this was a bargain, but it's got the, obviously, like a lot of them have, the pin-ups taken out. But the story is complete. I think it's the 8th. It's one of the few series where I've got all the issues of, all the annuals of. So again, it's another one. Have a bit of a duff version to say you've got it, and then move on to the next one. And worry about replacing it once you've got all the issues you need. Complete your series first, and then go back and start upgrading your issues. This one I got from Comic Mart. This was from the same one at the Bedford Hotel, or the Royal National Hotel, Bedford Way. It's the same place that Ghost Critic recently posted a video of. I used to go to Comic Marts quite a lot in the early 90s, because there were quite a few of them going. I think the Central Halls, Westminster, you had one council hall thing near King's Cross Station. You had this one, of course, in Bedford Way, and the other big one was the TUC Centre in Great Russell Street. But all but the Bedford Way one seemed to have died a death. I was going to them all the time, but I wasn't buying comics all the time as well, because I was into, you know, filling the back catalogue of Doctor Who videos and other American TV series that weren't released over here yet in the old days of camera copy videos. But this is one where I tried so many times on eBay to get it and wasn't able to, and it was there, and it's like 50% off this price. It's like, if I don't get it now, I probably never will. And it's, again, the spine's quite worn, but it's complete, nice colour. There's a stamp again, but so I bought it. This is one of the few upgrades I've actually got while still collecting, because it's got the Avengers in it. We all like our crossover series, don't we? My previous one, tape all the way down in a haphazard manner, just to keep the cover from falling off, which I kept and then gave to a friend because he's a fellow collector, which I don't mind doing. Nice one. I love the colour on this one. I think with these, it's the primary colours. I suppose it's because they're primary colours that they stand out so much. But I find a lot of covers have the red, yellow, and blue on, and they really stand out. And when you've got a nice shiny mylar to stick them in, it really makes them pop, as people tend to say nowadays. That was Doctor Strange. Something that's noted actually taken of the picture itself. Yeah, I think the ones and the mylars, there's another one here, issue 30, I got from a guy on eBay who had loads of early Silver Age he was getting rid of. So I got about a dozen, I think. Various qualities. But this was like the average kind of quality of these. Very pleased with these. Good stories too. This one has a special place in my heart because this is the first Silver Age comic I ever bought. It was £6 from an online shop called QS Comics, and they're in the Midlands up towards Leicester, somewhere around there. I bought quite a few from there. They have an easy to navigate website and decent prices, and they have offers like sometimes a third off prices or half price certain times of the year. Good quality cover detached. Yes, that's probably why it was £6. Because I've not been able to find one as cheap as that since. But I'll get around to updating it at some point. But I'll probably keep it just for sentimental value. So I'll end with at least a sample of my collection with the big three FF Silver Age titles. It's the whole Silver Turbo Galactus saga. Ooh, I'll come to that. This was a lucky buy. Originally, I didn't actually win it. This was a second chance offer from a guy in Ireland. And it was like, because I was so close to winning it at the time, so I'm not going to say no to that. It's pretty nice. The cover seems slightly bigger than the pages. That's why you got so much wear along the edges. But it's no real marking, so it's a scuff in there, ambiguity worn spine. But the interior is lovely. Again, it's the colour again, it's stood the test of time. And just compare that to the other one. He says if he can find it. I'm looking at the wrong path. I thought, no, I'm not. Yeah, I really rehearsed this, didn't I? So, okay. Can hold it far enough away from the camera. It makes the original watcher look quite confused. Like I say, it doesn't really look scared or awed, just a bit confused. Why am I standing in this position? My legs are cold. But it is, it's quite simple in its composition. Look at me. The coming of Galactus. Shouldn't it be the coming back of Galactus? But it is, you know, it's a cover you can't mistake, really. You know, part 2. This is an upgrade because the first copy I had of this had no back cover, but the rest of it itself was quite nice. And of course, when it's all bagged and boarded, you'd never know. But I think that was I think I gave away to the present to somebody on his birthday, I think. That would have got much more if I'd have sold it. And he'd given me lots of stuff in the past anyway, but again, another great cover. It's a Galactus does his Tommy Cooper on the Fantastic Four. No, that wasn't an impression of Tommy Cooper. Far from it. Great stuff. And the last one. The only thing wrong with this is the damage over this bit, over the startling saga of the Uber Surfer. But at the moment I'm not really bothered about having to upgrade this just for the sake of that. Because apart from that, it's very nice. At least to me it's a very nice copy. Some spine wear, but it's still quite very solid, complete, nice and clean inside. Yeah. Lovely stuff. Right. I'll do some more of my other stuff later in another video, but I wasn't actually going to kind of stop there. But I'll do a little bit extra because I've had the postman come today and yesterday. Because I was going to do this yesterday, but a few technical difficulties means I'm doing it now. So about a live unbagging. Right. I've already opened them, but I don't know what's in them. I've just opened them for expediency's sake, because I was watching someone do this very thing a couple of days ago, and he faffed around so much with it. He'd pick it up, turn it round. He had a stand, you know, he'd pick up, he could nick at a corner, put it down, pick it up, turn it. He'd just get on with it. So I've opened them up already. So if I can even get this one out, let's see what we've got. Ooh. Try and be very careful. Oh, some cardboard. That's always handy. Oh, it's X-Men 96. Oh, yes. Presumably that should be. What should that be behind it? 'Cause that's right, I bought two. This is a big Silver Age fan, and up buying Bronze Age stuff. So behind it, 99. Yes. Now the reason I'm collecting these at the moment is the way I'm choosing to collect extra titles, because there's no way you can, well, for space reasons as well as practical financial reasons, to start collecting a whole series, especially when there's like 50 years worth of comics behind them. So I've got my system for choosing a certain area to collect. Like I've got 64 of the 66 original run of X-Men, and for some reason I ended up with issue 100. So well, I can attempt to pick up again from 94 and go up to 100, and I've extended that to 141, which is the first official Uncanny X-Men title, and it's also part 2 of the Days of Future Past storyline. So I thought that would be a nice group to collect. And I finally got 96. Looks quite nice, and an okay 99. I think they were both very reasonable prices. I know I've got a few more X-Men to come, but I don't know whether they're going to be in this or not. Ooh, brown tape. Oh, I'm going to have to get a knife. You have to stare at white cardboard for a few seconds. As I said earlier, I think with probably my next video I'll go into what I actually have in a bit more detail. But I am mostly a Silver Age fan. It's another X-Men! 116. Pence copy. I'm not too bored either whether it's a pence copy or a cents copy. I've heard people talk about how they prefer one or the other, but as I understand it, the pence versions had a smaller run than the cents, so technically or statistically they're rarer than the cents copies. But I've never really noticed any difference in value just because of the price variant. Yeah, I suppose it's the quality and the contents that matter really. I'm not that picky. But, I'm not too sure about packaging on this one. So it'll be a fresh bag on board for that one. On to the next one. Oh, some more cardboard. At least they used Scotch tape this time. I've had a package like this before where they've taped it to the board, but they used parcel tape. And come on. It's going to knacker the bag at least. Ooh, no, hopefully at least. And I've done the top and the bottom as well. Another X-Men. Pence version 115. It's quite nice. And yet there's still more. This is a bit flimsy. But not a hardback envelope at all. If you're going to have card in an envelope to support a magazine, book, comic or whatever, this just doesn't cut it, does it? You know? They do write on the envelope, do not bend, but I mean, there's not even, look at that. That is not fit for purpose, as in support. Right, okay, which one is this? Another X-Men. It's it. That's right, I forgot about this. Daredevil number 6. This is the last one in the yellow costume. Again, mid-grade. I think there's a looks too small to be a coffee ring. There's kind of a brown mark. But for the price I paid for it, and it's a very early Daredevil, I'm very happy with that. Although yet to look inside it. Nice. 2 more to go. Good. Ooh, Silver Sapphire. Number 9. This is one I decided to collect quite recently, primarily because it turns out Volume 1 only went to 18 issues. And I like nice small runs, because it's possible to collect a full set then, well, obviously, but it's not like you buy a title like them and it's going to go on and on and on. You think, oh god, when's it going to end? Even though I'm still collecting Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. But if you're not massively into a certain character, but you're addicted to buying comics, which is the other half of the reason, I think, to find a series that had a limited run is a good way to extend your collection, explore a new character, but not have to worry about which area and which era do I go into. So, number 9. Number 10. That's quite a clean cover, I like that. A world you never made. How dramatic these taglines, aren't they? Oh, we could have done this for that competition I saw Ghost Critic talking about yesterday. Covers with people carrying people and they're crying and stuff like that. Oh, should you ever watch this, Ghost Critic? I did find one with Sasquatch on. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing. I can't remember which show it is. But yeah, there's a Sasquatch in that one. So what's that? So Silver Surfer number 11. Oh no, I only bought 9, 10, 11. Oh, they've added 12 in for me as well. Oh, I can see why. Probably thought they wouldn't be able to sell it. Back cover missing. But as a freebie, I can still tick it off the list. It's still internally at least, all still there, still completely readable. Reborn, the Abomination. What, my ex? No, that's not it. Well, that's an unexpected bonus. Thank you very much. And the last one, this is the last one. X-Men again. Number 112. Magneto Triumphant. Finally managed to put that shoving unit up. Wolverine, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? He looks quite terrified there, doesn't he? No, not mine eyes! Nice. Excellent. Well, so 40 minutes, blind, I've waffled on that much. I think I'll call it a day for my first video. I hope you've enjoyed it, those that have discovered it and watched it. I do intend to do more. I'll talk things about the way I catalogue, if you can call it that, my collection, my views on CGC, and the more modern comics that I collect. So until then, whenever that may be, enjoy your own collections. I'll enjoy watching your videos too, and take care. We'll see each other soon. Bye bye.